All right, guys, currently 5:53 in the afternoon. We've had a pretty productive day today. I had a lot of meetings, filmed a lot of content today. Now I'm just dealing with a little bit of the admin tasks inside of the business. Currently, we're dealing with a couple issues in terms of hiring the right team, figuring out our product. We have a couple customers that are a little bit unhappy how they've been treated inside, so it's just figuring out quality control, make sure that we're providing the best product ever. So it's been a pretty big issue that's been arising. It's just part of the process. I mean, when building a business, you just have to deal with all the fires that come on a month-to-month basis. Like I said previously, we've had a pretty big month recently, and we're on track to do our biggest month, probably this month as well. With all that momentum, with all those new people that are coming in, you're gonna have a lot of things that break. It's just inevitable. It's just the cost of doing business. Not everyone's going to be happy with you as much as you try and as much as you try to get the message across. Not everyone's going to be happy, so you just have to plan for that. And then also, one of the things that I've been dealing with is I just got the word that I have a closing on the 6th when I thought it was going to be on the 9th. I'm currently in Morocco right now. Closing is in Dallas, Texas. So I'm supposed to get back to Dallas on the 9th because I thought my closing was then. So now I'm trying to figure out and work with the realtor to see if we can extend, and if not, somebody else is gonna have to sign on my behalf, my business partner. I don't really want that to happen. I want to document the whole entire process. So just dealing with how to push it and extend that closing, see what we can do. We might have to do like a separate closing just for the cameras and just to document everything. This is the reality. You're just dealing with fires 24/7. Your phone goes off. Everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to call you about with their problem. And so as issues arise, my workload just continues to get bigger and bigger. Eventually I want to get to the point where I'm less reactive in my business. So the goal is in 1 to 2 months, hiring a team around me where not that much gets filtered up to me anymore. And I'm just more on the strategy side. I'm more assessing just KPIs and things like that. I'm looking at how our team is performing, and then I'm making decisions based off of that. Right now, I'm still in the weed. Funny enough, we're running an 8-figure business and I'm still in the weed, figuring out little things, talking to clients and stuff like that, which I don't mind. I want to do that because if I can do that, I get to understand what the client is thinking, what the people think about our product, and I can continue to just iterate and update and update and update. Once I take myself out of it, I'm relying on somebody else's word and somebody else's efforts to inform me because I'll be focused on the growth of the business and the strategy behind the business. So the goal is to have a team of, VAs, probably an EA, an executive assistant around me that can just continue to work beside me, handle any of my logistical stuff, any of my technical stuff, work on any admin level tasks, any messages that need to get filtered up to me, booking calls, booking my schedule. And that way I'm just focused on how are we gonna make this thing grow to 5 million a month quick as possible. And then lastly is the reactive side of things. So as people present more problems to me, I then have to go ahead, build out more things, create more solutions for them. I've always done this in the past, but especially with the role that I'm at right now and the amount of people that are counting on me and my expertise, it's just not efficient enough for the team that we're building. So from here, what I want to do is become a little bit more on the reactive side. We were very reactive for a long time until we absolutely just started to grow exponentially. And so now that we're at this level and we're starting to grow even more, even if we're a week late to something, that we can mean a lot of bad things. It can mean a lot of chargebacks, refund, and just unsatisfied customers that aren't getting what they paid for, which is the worst thing. By me being more proactive, I'm thinking ahead, I'm building things out that maybe are going to be used or maybe they're not going to be used. I'm just, ahead of the curve before anyone deals with an issue. We can get to their problems a lot quicker. Part of that is just assessing data, looking at our previous weekly calls. One of the biggest tips that I can give you guys is ChatGPT is going to be your best like business advisor, personal advisor when it comes to CEO. My ChatGPT, I'll show you guys real quick. CEO GPT, that essentially is my fitness advisor, my business advisor, and my life advisor. In terms of business, I will literally take everything about my business, from all the resources that we've provided, all the work that we've done in the past, all the results that we've gotten for people, the sales calls that we've gotten for people, the scripts that we use, any document, any call recording that we have, group calls, things like that. I'll take all of that, transcribe it, put it into ChatGPT, and make sure it remembers it. ChatGPT is so powerful now that it has a memory of its own. So then once I compiled all that data, let's say one of the biggest use cases right now for me is taking all of our sales calls and all of our one-on-one calls that we take on a weekly basis, transcribing them, uploading them to ChatGPT, and asking it questions based off of that. So one of the biggest things is for our one-on-one calls with clients, I'll say, what are the most common questions or problems that people are facing this week? It will give me a list of them. And then from there, I can brainstorm with ChatGPT and say, hey, based off of this, what material or what resources can we build out that will help them in the long run to no longer have those problems, and then also help future clients of ours to not have the same exact issue again. And maybe that's a whole restructuring problem. Maybe we have to realign expectations of our clients, but whatever it is, I get to use ChatGPT with me, so it's thinking alongside of me. It's almost like my personal assistant that's understanding. So I'm just constantly feeding in data on a weekly basis. Same thing with our sales calls. I can put everything in our sales calls and I can just transcribe our sales calls, get all that data, put it back into ChatGPT and say, hey, based off of this, our biggest objections on why people didn't close this week. What was our best calls? What was our worst calls? And what was the reason why our worst calls were bad and our best calls were, easy closings and easy sales for us? And based off of that, we can start to reiterate and build our program and our whole business around that type of data. So definitely recommend ChatGPT as well for if you're in my position, growing a new business. You don't know what you don't know. So if you can have something like an AI just around you that has so many data points of everything in the world, and that can just collect and use some of the best resources and some of the best pieces of data in the world to compile and give you personal advice on business, health, fitness, relationships, whatever it may be, absolutely use it to your advantage. The only thing I recommend is that you give it all the data that it needs to make correct decisions. It's just like a normal human being. If you go to somebody and tell them, hey, I need help with my business, and they don't have the right information or they don't have enough information, they're going to give you a plan that doesn't really make sense for you. If you feed it all the data that you have off of your business, it will tell you exactly what your flaws are. That's how you use ChatGPT. Stop using it for Google searches or how-to tutorial. No, it's to figure out where your flaws are in your business, in your life, in your relationships, and then how you can enhance those flaws and make yourself a better human being at the end of the day. So highly recommend that as well. That's what I'm using to build this whole entire thing. So like I showed you before, I have a whole entire project folder with multiple different chats in here of just different things that I need, content creation ideas, fitness ideas, and it knows me down to my weight, my height, my body fat percentage. I'll take a body scan probably on a monthly basis, like a body fat percentage scan, and I'll upload the PDF file into ChatGPT and it will assess everything based off of that.